Hi everyone, and welcome to Val Draws. Today I'm working on just kind of a quick little simple, well, not really quick, but a simple piece of a couple of pony OCs of mine, Princess Corona and Princess Aurora. For those of you who've migrated here and followed me from DeviantArt and Tumblr, you'll probably be pretty familiar with both of them. But for those who aren't, and kind of just stumbled upon this for the first time, I guess I can probably just, you know, talk about them since, yeah, I like them a lot. They're my babies. So I kind of refer to them, the two of them together as the successors. Their story takes place about 1,000 years after the events of My Little Pony's Friendship is Magic. Um, with the, scenario where Celestia and Luna pass away and the elements of harmony end up choosing a pair of sisters, twins, to take on the roles of princesses of Equestria. And, doing pretty much basically the same thing as Celestia and Luna, only, 1,000 years down the line. Um, yeah. Twins. One, Aurora is a giant worrywart. She's the older of the two. She's the one on the bottom there. She is, I mean, I wouldn't say a worrywart, but she's very concerned about, the things going on around her. She's very driven. She's very conscientious of her her relatively new role as a princess. Um, yeah, she's yeah, very conscientious, very aware of the weight of the situation and um, wanting to get things right, really, but kind of going out about it the wrong way. Kind of trying to do it all on her own. She's the big sister. She's always supposed to take care of her little sister. Because even though they're twins, she really feels like she's, you know, in her head, she's much older than her little sister. Um, so she's got a lot on her mind all the time and puts a lot of pressure on herself, and yeah, she goofs up a lot of the time. Yeah, she can be kind of dumb sometimes, but in an endearing way. Anyways, and then Corona, who she's I mean she's the sun sister, and rightfully so. She is much more. She is sunshine. She's very much sunshine. Uh, Aurora is kind of a rain cloud, while Corona is like a living sunny day, pretty much. And she's kind of got more of the easygoing attitude, but a little bit more. She's dependent on her big sister, which eventually she grows out of and becomes more her own. Maybe not person, since she's technically a horse. I guess we'll go with person. She becomes her own person. Um, yeah, I thought of these two. Ugh, gosh, I've had them for a few years now. I remember I thought of the concept for the two of them. Well, I mean, just the concept of successors. I was driving. What would it have been? It's not down Main Street, it's down West Ave. And there was a coffee shop on my right. And I was thinking about what would happen if something happened to Celestia and Luna. And I'm not sure exactly where my thought process had come from. I just remember that particular moment and thinking, huh, twins. The elements of harmony pick a pair of twins and make them into alicorns. At the time, I was very against. Still not a huge fan of the word alicorn. I much prefer winged unicorn or something like that, but I guess that doesn't really embody. Like, they're really supposed to be like, their harmony between the three different kinds of ponies. So winged unicorn doesn't really include necessarily earth pony, I guess. So I don't know. But alicorn, I originally learned that term as a kid, and it was in reference to that's what you call the material that a unicorn's horn is made out of. So that always stuck in my head. So alicorn always seemed weird to me. And then they used it in the show, so I guess I have to go with it and be fine with it. But I can still whine and complain and gripe, I suppose. But anyways, so yeah, I thought of this random fleeting thought passed through my mind as I was driving past that particular coffee shop, and I don't know why I remembered that particular coffee shop. I don't know, whatever. It happened. So that thought was kind of, you know, verbal bubbling around in my head. And it wasn't until later when I kind of landed on the idea of, twins, and then I started thinking about designs, and amusingly enough, I think I thought about Aurora's design first, and I was actually watching a bunch of seagulls. We went on a trip somewhere, and we were at like this lighthouse kind of place, and there was a bunch of seagulls flying around because anywhere you get a bunch of people, you get with, food, and you're by the water, and you don't even really have to be by the water, I guess. Seagulls are like weirdly everywhere. I don't know. They're in the Walmart parking lot. We live by a river. I guess that counts. But the Walmart isn't near a river. I don't know. Anyways, so I was watching these seagulls fly, and they actually had like really, really pretty wings. And I was like, oh, that would look good on a Pegasus. It would look good on the Moon Princess, who at that time didn't have a name or anything other than just, you know, she would succeed Luna. But yeah, so Aurora originally had this little touch that she was gonna have, gray. She would have the her gray on her wings, just like her big primary feathers would be gray. But I ended up, dropping that once I, started working on her design more. But it was just a funny thing that I was watching seagulls and thought of Aurora. She'd probably be, I don't know, that would offend her somehow. Just like she takes herself a bit more seriously than being associated with seagulls. They're not very dignified birds. Yeah. Nobody tell her that. So I proceed on and I finalize their designs, and well, I use the word finalize loosely because they continue to morph and grow as any good character design should always be kind of, I mean, unless you're doing like an animation project, then you kind of want the design to stay solid and be a thing that people can reference. Anyway, so I finalize, air quotes, their designs and post them up on DeviantArt and post some more doodles, just like little character tidbits. And lo and behold, randomly out of the blue, this total stranger just messages me, sends me a note. It's this guy named Port Miriam, and all he says is that he really likes these characters and they really inspire him, and he was wondering if I'd be willing to let him write about them. And so I poke around his profile and figure out that one, that he's good at writing, and two, he's not some weirdo that's gonna write terrible things about my characters. So I figured, hey, why not? Let's see what he can do. It's probably just gonna be like a one shot or something like that. So I tell him, yeah, go for it. And so he asks about, if I have any story ideas or plot lines or anything like that. So I give him kind of like a loose rundown of if I were to write anything about them, which I wouldn't have of my own accord because I don't have the attention span. I'm like a fruit fly sometimes. But if I had mustered myself together, I would have written, I give him a rundown of kind of where I would go with it. And so he takes it, and for the next 2 years, with, kind of several month-long breaks, he writes this 18-chapter epic. I mean, not technically an epic, but it was pretty epic. It's pretty darn epic. So he writes this story over the course of 2 years, and it's this full and complete and wonderful story about these characters that I randomly thought about while driving past a coffee shop and thinking about seagulls. Two separate occasions, but it would have been amusing if I was driving past a coffee shop and thinking about seagulls at the same time, and somehow that spawned. Anyways, but yeah, so just crazy. You wrote this story and it's wonderful, and now we're really good friends, and it's great. Random fun fact. When I initially thought of them, I'm not sure why, but I originally intended for Arona. I can't say my own characters' names. I originally thought of Aurora and Corona as male. I don't know why, because I tend to default to making female characters, but yeah, originally they were male, and I don't remember what caused me to change my mind. Probably because I was more comfortable with female characters, but I don't know. It may sound sexist of me or something, but whatever. But yeah, they were originally gonna be dudes. I think maybe I saw a work, a fan work on DA of somebody else's sibling alicorns that were guys. And so it was like, I know the internet's a big place and all, but I still don't want to like somehow down the line step on somebody's creative toes and have somebody think I was copying or something like that. So maybe that had something to do with me switching them. See now, I'm adding the sparkle brush, which I got from an art subscription box. Normally I would not I'm not a sparkly kind of person. So under normal circumstances I would not own a sparkle brush, but I have art subscription boxes, and there was this one that was supposed to be for like themed on coloring books, like adult coloring books, like mandalas and stuff like that, and it came with a sparkle brush. And I didn't know I needed a sparkle brush in my life, but I did need a sparkle brush in my life, and so I was using the sparkle brush. It's perfect for them, the two of them, but unfortunately you can only really appreciate it in person, which, I mean, even the scan doesn't really get the sparkles. So I guess you don't really get to experience the sparkles like I do. It's just for me. Anyway, thank you for watching, and I hope I'll see you next time.